Hi, this is Ryan from Cincy Life Community News. It is July 13th, 2015, and there was a article released about Stevie Nicks' recent interview with the Daily Beast, where she talks about her period in the mid-90s where she lost 8 years of her life to an addiction to Klonopin. And she, as well as many physicians, consider this the most dangerous pill, the most dangerous prescription. That's what several of these articles are titled, in fact. And the background with these doctors really gets into detail, and I'd like to reveal some of that. But first, I wanted to talk about a comment that I received after I posted this. This is from a family friend that went to school with my brother who is actually using this drug, Klonopin, and he says, this is just for people who can't take responsibility for their own actions and blame it on a prescription drug that's really not that big of a deal. Take some responsibility, people, for the stupid things you do. Don't blame them on the things you take. So that's why I did this. That's just stupid. And then on his page from a couple days ago, I found this story. And his comment here about heroin is, people need to hear more about this and not just shush each other when you hear the word heroin and play ignorance is bliss game, because there is a problem and it needs to be dealt with. I'm a recovering addict, and I wish that I had more knowledge about it when I was younger, and I never would have had to worry about ruining half of my life. So, the prescription drugs he considers no big deal, but the heroin ruined half of his life. See, that's the mindset we're dealing with in society. But this Dr. Mercola's comments are interesting. He's saying it's repeatedly demonstrated that prescription drugs can and frequently do pose serious risk to your health. In this case, Fleetwood Mac star Stevie Nicks ended up battling the devastating side effects of a drug she probably didn't need in the first place, and it swallowed 8 years of her life. Although many fail to realize this, prescription drugs can be just as addictive as illegal drugs. In fact, in many cases, there's no difference between a street drug and a prescription drug. For example, hydrocodone, a prescription opiate, is synthetic heroin. It's indistinguishable from any other heroin as far as your brain and body is concerned. So if you're hooked on hydrocodone, you are in fact a good old-fashioned heroin addict. Unfortunately, not a lot of attention is paid to prescription drug abuse. Still, nearly 20% of Americans admit to having used prescription drugs for non-medical reasons, and 3/4 of those may be abusing prescription drugs. He goes on to say there are absolutely no safe drugs. A clear majority of people have been successfully brainwashed into thinking that FDA-approved drugs can safely and effectively treat every possible ailment under the sun. This is a tragedy of epic proportions. But it's not too late to turn this madness around. First and foremost, you must understand that even under the best circumstances, such as with a drug that has gone through unbiased, stringent, and long-term testing, anything can happen when a drug is released into the uncontrolled environment of your individual body. It may interact badly with another drug you're taking, or perhaps a food you eat causes unforeseen reaction, or maybe your genetic makeup, metabolism, or the state of your immune system will cause it to have an unpredictable impact. Unfortunately, studies are frequently biased, results are skewed, and drugs are put on the fast track to be approved long before anyone knows whether they're safe. In essence, it's all a gamble. There are no 100% safe drugs. And, I've learned that in my life. I lost my 16-year-old brother to an overdose on Zoloft, and he was also taking opiates, unprescribed. And this is an eye-opening thing right here, that prescription drugs cause more deaths than illegal drugs. In fact, the legal drugs cause 106,000 deaths per year, but illegal drugs only cause 10,000 deaths per year in the United States. So it's a tenfold increase of deaths from using prescription drugs compared to the illegal drugs that are on the streets. So it shows clearly that the pharmaceutical drugs are more dangerous than street drugs. And that's why I've been a big fan of marijuana. Nobody has ever died from marijuana, and yet it treats so many ailments. It's amazing.